Capone. He was one of our youngest brothers out of, I think it's about 12 of us. And he was a very upbeat, positive person. He was a light on our community. Everyone loved him dearly. And he was an organizer, so he always had everything in order, and everything was planned out.
He was ahead of his time. You know, to be his age, he was ahead of his time. He had everything planned out, you know, from the beginning to the end, his life set up. There's people that are, you know, 50 that don't even have it together like that.
He was very, very motivated, you know. And then he would come to me, and then we would change position. I would be the son, he would be the father. And he would say, Daddy, I want you to save $1,600 a month. You know? I said, okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, and he said, okay, Daddy, I'm gonna be on you now.
Prior to me actually working with Nevada Donor Network, we didn't have much education in regards to donation. When I first started working there, we actually thought it was a blood bank. I've been working there since 2007, and since then we have been educated in regards to donation, the full process of donation. And he went down, I believe, in 2009 and actually became a donor. And he was just like, hey, I got the heart on my license. And I'm like, congratulations. Because, you know, the fact of just working for Nevada Donor Network and being able to share the process of donation to him, you know, to educate him in regards to donation. And it's just very important to actually have that conversation with your loved ones in regards to donation, just to be on the other side of the fence in regards to being a donor family. It has impacted not only myself, but my siblings, my family, in regards to they have actually all went and became donors. And like I said, it's all in regards to education. And the fact that Capone was able to help 4 other people, in my heart, I truly believe that they are seeing life through his vision.
Well, he was an amazing person, loved his family, loved motorcycles, loved to break things and then fix them. He drove us crazy, but he was a diamond in the rough. He was an awesome person. He was loved by many. He had a very soft heart, and he was very generous. They called me Nevada Donor and asked if I would donate his corneas, and Richard loved to help people, so I immediately said yes, because I knew he'd want to help people, even if he was gone. I'm a registered donor, so I know the importance of it. What I have to say to people out there is that to love each other, try to be kind, and never take anyone for granted or tomorrow, because it's a gift and we're not guaranteed it.
I'm here to honor my son James. He was 22 years old. He passed away last November. James was the youngest of our children, our 3 kids. He was pretty wild and on the go all the time. This kid had no breaks at all. It was all motor. He was a great athlete, 3-time state runner-up here in Nevada in wrestling. He's just a really good person. He always looked out for the little guy and never let people pick on others. He was always the guy that stood up for the little guy, and he made us very proud with that. He was just such a good kid and a good person and growing into a great man. He was renewing his license, and he called me. He said, Dad, I put down that I'm going to be a donor. What do you think? And I said, that's awesome. You know, Mom and I are both, you know, registered donors, and we never thought we'd see the day that he got to donate, but that's, you know, part of life, I guess. And he was very proud of the fact that he was a registered donor. It sure has helped us to accept that he's gone. The decision of donating or not was pretty much taken out of our hands, obviously. We would have made the same decision. And it has changed our lives in the fact that we now know how important it is to be a donor and how many lives you can save after you're gone. It's, you know, the ultimate sacrifice, and I'm just so proud of him, you know. It's really something to be very proud of.
Jonathan, he was an awesome kid. He was 39 when he was taken. His family was important to him. He moved back when his grandfather was diagnosed with myelodysplasia, which is cancer of the red blood. And so that he didn't have to go to a nursing home, he moved in with him. And between Jonathan and myself, we were his caregiver. That's when we became donors. And basically, we were just blood donors at that time because Dad had to had so many blood transfusions. Family was so important to him. Family came first, but his real passion was playing poker. He was deaf, and he wanted to be the first deaf person to win the World Series poker title. Every year, he would come here to Las Vegas to play in the National Deaf Poker Tournament. It was a group from all over the United States and would come here to play poker. It was his favorite place. He was a good poker player. He won 3 tournaments. I just really liked and enjoyed seeing him and supporting him. In 2000, he became a blood donor. And then in 2007, when his grandfather passed, his grandfather was an organ and tissue donor at the age of 90. He signed up for that. The day after his wake, he went to the DMV and registered to be a donor. It was hard, but I am now an advocate for the donor program. If anybody listens to me, I will talk about it. I've decided to become a donor. When I redo my license, I am going to become an organ and tissue donor. It's a nice thing. It saves lives. It helps lives.
My mom was a 5th-generation Nevadan, a small business owner, an entrepreneur in the 90s when that was not common. My mother was a feisty political advocate, proud Democrat. My mother could tell you who won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1970. She had an incredible memory for random facts and things like that. She was fearless. I grew up in a town where not a lot of women worked or were entrepreneurs, and she set an incredible example for me. I was really fortunate that I knew I could do anything I wanted, that I had this incredible example in my mother, successful, smart entrepreneur. It's probably my favorite thing about her. My mom was a registered donor. The decision to donate has been an incredibly profound and meaningful experience. I work in social services and I see the impact that this makes on people's lives. I received a letter from one of my mom's recipients, and it was one of the most moving things that I've experienced as part of the death process, knowing that my mother could help give the gift of sight, give the gift of life to somebody that needed it. It's important, right? Her death was unexpected and something I never thought I would be dealing with at 27, but knowing that she was able to impact somebody's life for the better has been incredibly meaningful. Organ donation is one of the most important things families can do when their loved one dies. I believe very strongly in the power of organ donation. I hope that people will consider it. It's more than just vital organs. Tissue and cornea donation can truly uplift people in need. And I hope that more people will consider doing organ and tissue donation.
We come from Brazil. We come from the circus performer. And everything that you name it, she did. She was a flying trapeze. She ride the horse. She was acrobat. She is very special.
My sister was a registered donor with the Nevada DMV, I believe ever since her first driver's license.
It's so difficult. After what happened with my sister, looked like death is around us. We never imagined something like that happen. Then we never talk about it. We are all donors. We know how important it is, but we are too young. That conversation was too hard to us talk about that. We didn't talk about that. That's, I don't know if you can understand. It's just because we are 40, 42, 38, why we are going to have this kind of conversation? No, let this for the old people, But anyway, we are donor.
if we did have the conversation, it would be more like a joke thing. Like, oh, when I die, whoever, you know, gets my cornea will not see that well because I wear glasses. So it would be more like a fun. And just because of what she said, we never ever thought that something like this would happen to our family. For me personally, it makes me, it gives me hope that we're not here just to live our lives. We're here to help other people continue on to their lives. And just the fact that we know there's at least 5 or 6 people that receive her organs and are living on, it gives me, you know, strength and straight to keep going. Life is so short, so if you can help more people even after you pass, why not? And maybe one day we'll have the blessed to meet the recipients. But even if we don't, we know that her life affected these people too good forever.
Yeah, she was life. She was wonderful. That's why we want to remember and honor her memory every day. She was this very special gift that heaven gave to us, you know, and for a short period of time, but we had her with us as an angel. And now we have her with us as an angel too.
My son Matthew was 37. He was very, very friendly and an athlete, and he got killed riding his bike. His accident was so sudden that, and he was so full of life, and his passion was others, helping others. I knew he wouldn't want to be where he was then, so I wanted to make sure that someone else could have the opportunity to maybe mountain bike or be a triathlete. When his children were born, it was probably the happiest day of his life. If he could give back that experience to someone else, there was no doubt in my mind that he would want to do something like that.
My mom was full of life and always the life of the party. She was amazing. She loved everyone. Her personality was so fun. Everything she did, she found fun in. And she had like the biggest heart. She would do anything for anybody. My favorite thing about her is how much she cared for other people. She would take the clothes off her back for anybody, even a stranger, someone she didn't know. And she would help you. She just cared so much and loved everybody.
It was something that both of us thought that really the world needs for a lot of different reasons.
For me personally, it's very important with my son having leukemia. It's important that she was willing to give part of herself to anybody. It's just so special to me. And I think it's good, you know, that somebody else can benefit, possibly keep their life going because of her, you know, when they might not have been able to. We miss her so much, and we hope to meet the family that were recipients of her organs, so maybe we can have a little piece of her again with us.